He was supposed to become the next NBA superstar. Some even believed he would become the face of the league. But before he reached his prime, his own body betrayed him. Portland, Oregon, 2011. One of the most gifted shooting guards in the NBA walked into a press conference and said the words no athlete ever wants to say. He was retiring, not because he wanted to, not because his time had come, because his body had completely given out at 26 years old. Kobe Bryant had called him the hardest player he ever had to guard. He had made 3 consecutive NBA All-Star teams. The entire city of Portland had built his basketball dreams around him. His name was Brandon Roy, and his story is one of the most heartbreaking in the history of professional basketball. Brandon Roy was born on July 23, 1984, in Seattle, Washington. He grew up in a tough neighborhood where basketball was both an escape and a passion. From an early age, he showed a maturity and skill level that set him apart from everyone around him. He wasn't the most explosive athlete. He wasn't the fastest player on the court, but he had something that cannot be taught. An instinct for the game so deep that coaches and scouts struggled to find the words to describe it. He could get to any spot on the court whenever he wanted, and once he got there, almost no one could stop him. Roy attended the University of Washington, playing right in his hometown. Year after year, he elevated his game and elevated everyone around him. In his senior season, he was named the Pac-10 Player of the Year. NBA scouts who watched him play came away with the same conclusion every single time. This young man was going to be a star. He wasn't just skilled, he was a winner. He made his teammates better. He made his coaches look smarter. He had the rare quality that separates good players from great ones. He wanted the ball when the game was on the line, and when he got it, he almost always delivered. In 2006, Brandon Roy was selected 6th overall by the Minnesota Timberwolves and immediately traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. It was the beginning of something that felt genuinely special. In his very first NBA season, Roy won the Rookie of the Year award. The following season, he made his first All-Star team, then his second, then his third. Portland was building something real around him. Greg Oden was supposed to be his partner in the front court. The city dared to dream about championships. Roy was the undisputed heart and soul of everything the Blazers were building. And then the knees started to go. The problems began quietly. A soreness here, a procedure there. Doctors discovered that Roy had virtually no cartilage remaining in either of his knees. Cartilage is what allows joints to move smoothly and painlessly. Without it, every step, every cut, every jump becomes an act of extraordinary willpower against extraordinary pain. Roy kept playing. He kept showing up. He refused to give in. But the body has limits that willpower alone cannot overcome. His explosiveness faded. His minutes were restricted. The player who had once glided effortlessly across the court was now fighting just to stay on it. The decline was painful to watch for everyone who had seen what he once was. But before the end came one of the most remarkable moments in NBA playoff history. April 2011, Portland Trail Blazers versus Dallas Mavericks. Roy had barely played all season. His knees were deteriorating rapidly. But that night he came off the bench and scored 24 points in the fourth quarter alone, leading an almost impossible comeback from 18 points down. The crowd went absolutely insane. The basketball world stopped and watched in disbelief. For one perfect night, Brandon Roy reminded everyone exactly who he was and what he was capable of. It was breathtaking and heartbreaking because everyone watching knew it was probably the last time they would ever see him like that. Later that same year, Brandon Roy announced his retirement from the NBA. He was 26 years old. The press conference was one of the most emotional moments Portland basketball had ever seen. Roy spoke with dignity and grace about accepting what his body could no longer do. He thanked the city. He thanked his teammates. He held back tears that the entire room could feel. Outside the arena, fans gathered. Some wept openly, because this wasn't just a player retiring. This was a dream ending. This was a city losing the heart of everything it had believed in for 5 years. The numbers Brandon Roy put up in his healthy seasons projected into something extraordinary. Analytics showed he was on track to score 20,000 career points. Multiple analysts ranked him among the top 10 shooting guards of his generation, based purely on skill and impact. Kobe Bryant, the greatest shooting guard of his era, said publicly that Roy was the most difficult player he ever had to defend. Not occasionally, consistently. Night after night, the Portland Trail Blazers, with a healthy Roy alongside a healthy Greg Oden, had every ingredient needed to build a championship contender. Instead, both stars were gone before either reached their prime. Brandon Roy attempted a brief comeback with the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2012, but the knees could not hold. He retired permanently and returned to Seattle, where he became a high school basketball coach, dedicating himself to developing the next generation of players. His number 7 was retired by the Portland Trail Blazers in 2013. At the ceremony, grown men in the crowd wept. His former teammates spoke about him the way people speak about someone who changed their lives. And Kobe Bryant, asked about Roy years later, still said the same thing he had always said: the hardest player I ever guarded, bar none. Brandon Roy played 5 NBA seasons. In those 5 seasons, he became a 3-time All-Star, a Rookie of the Year, and the heart of an entire city's basketball dreams. He was the player Kobe Bryant respected above all others as a defender's nightmare. He was the player Portland built its future around. He was the player who, on one perfect April night, reminded the entire basketball world of what true greatness looks like, even when it is slipping away. He deserved more seasons. He deserved to find out just how far that extraordinary gift could take him. His knees made that decision for him. Sometimes greatness doesn't get to choose when it ends. This was the story of Brandon Roy. Subscribe. More stories like this are coming.